What's your name?
Celeste.
And can you explain just real quick what we got going on today in here?
This is Moore's Farm, and we sell creamies here. We've got maple syrup. It's actually Maple Sugar Works.
What's the soccer culture like in Vermont?
That's a good question. I mean, there's definitely a lot of like amateur and youth clubs for sure, but I'm not really sure about like adult clubs. And I know a lot of people that watch soccer, but it's not like a huge thing here.
Are you a fan of Vermont Green FC?
Not particularly.
Do you know what a Vermont Green FC is?
I'm assuming it's Vermont Football Club.
Where were you born?
Vermont.
Where do you live now?
Up here.
And where were you conceived?
Good question. I don't know.
My name is Andy Bajaña. I'm from New York City. I currently live in the Bronx, but I was born in Jackson Heights and conceived in Montpelier, Vermont. My mum was born in Colombia and my father was born in Ecuador. My parents met in New York City in the 80s, had me in the 90s, and by the year 2000 were already divorced. My parents have been on non-speaking terms for decades, but the one thing they've always agreed on until today is where I was conceived.
Where was I conceived? Vermont, most likely.
Oh, I came here with your father, and this is where you were conceived.
Calculating time when you were born and going back to where the time you were most likely to be conceived. Yeah, it should have been must have been Vermont.
Past 2 days, you've been asking people where.
You know, since you're looking for a team to help, a team to encourage, to push forward, and I know that Vermont has, little soccer history. I figure, this is another tidbit about your life. You are more likely to have been conceived there, so go there and, see what you get.
Although my father was taking the piss, he planted the seed in my head and it already begun sprouting. The United States of America has 50 states. Vermont is a breakfast state, as it's best known for its maple syrup, cheddar cheese and Bernie Sanders, who was not conceived in Vermont.
Sing loud and long to our little state so peerless. Green are her hills, clear are her rills, fair are her lakes and rivers and valleys, blue are her skies, peaceful she lies, but when roused to a call she speedily rallies. Hail to Vermont, dear old Vermont, our love for you is so great. We cherish your name, we laud, we acclaim our own Green Mountain State.
When you hear the word Vermont, football probably ain't the first thing that comes to mind. But in the year 2022, the year of the World Cup, football was on everybody's mind, and our neighbours up north were no exception. Prior to 2022, Vermont's only professional football team was the Vermont Voltage, who went extinct in 2014. As of today, the Mountain Green State's only football team is Vermont Green FC. VGFC was conceived in October of 2021, according to the team's website, by a group of lads from Vermont that love the beautiful game. One of those lads would be Matt Wolff, a famous graphic designer best known for conceiving the logos of the New York City Football Club and their supporters group, Third Rail, as well as LAFC, PSG and more.
My name's Matthew Wolff.
Matt Wolff, what's your relation to the team?
I started the team with my friends. It's an absolute dream come true to see it come to fruition. We've been working on building this club for the last 2 years, so to see the boys out on the pitch is a dream come true. Hopefully we're starting a new chapter in football culture in Vermont here with Vermont Green FC.
Where were you born?
I was born in New York City.
Where do you live now?
I live here in Vermont now.
Where were you conceived?
I'd have to ask my parents. I think they're in the crowd. Go Green.
Vermont Green would join the USL League 2 for the 2022 season. For those unaware, the United States football pyramid doesn't have promotion or relegation. Major League Soccer is the top flight. The second division has changed over the years, but it's currently the USL Championship. The third division is comprised of several different leagues, which also have changed over the years. The USL within itself has 3 divisions: USL Championship, USL League 1 and USL League 2, which is the league Vermont Green FC will be joining. Vermont Green's inaugural home opener will be against Blackrock FC and will take place on May 28th, 2022 at Virtue Field, which is located inside the University of Vermont in Burlington. I was fascinated by the fact that the club and I shared something very special in common. We were both conceived in Vermont. I made it my duty to be in attendance for the club's historical match. I was curious to see how the football culture in Vermont would be conceived. I was surprised by how many fans came out to Burlington to watch a team that had never played together up until a few weeks ago.
What neighborhood are we in?
We're in like the Burlington UVM area.
Where's the Coat Factory?
Not here.
I'm just glad to see a soccer club finally come to the city and for everybody to be able to enjoy that. It's great to see.
Yeah, same. Go green.
There were activities for the kids, a team shop, and several tables set up with stations that corresponded with Vermont Green FC's morals.
And what we're doing is kind of proving through our petition that climate is a primary concern amongst Vermont voters. So yeah, that's the goal for Canada this summer. Just get, I think, we want 25,000 new voters activated for climate.
VGFC invited supporters from Montreal Impact. Wait, does that say CF Montreal? Ah, bloody hell, mate. VGFC invited supporters from Club defunct Montreal to support Vermont Green, since Montreal is just a 2-hour drive from Burlington.
Come on! Come on, Green FC! Come on, Green FC! Come on, Green FC!
Torbjörn Golfson, number 9, he stands out.
Let's go, big man.
To the back post, and it bounces in! Vermont Green, Rodrigo Ferreira, and the Green take the lead!
What a goal. Smashes the net.
A pinballing cross.
What's your name, bro?
I'm Bass.
Where are you born, Bass?
New York City, born and raised.
Where were you conceived?
Upper East Side, New York City.
What brings you here today?
Vermont Green till I live and die. I think we're looking at one of the best clubs in the country, maybe one of the best clubs in the world. Time will tell, though.
What's football culture like in Vermont?
You've been to Chelsea? It's very similar to that, right there. We're talking Premier League football, we're talking hooligans, we're having a great time, we're drinking Vermont beer, we're in Vermont air. Vermont Green, baby, Vermont Green.
Go Green!
Vermont Green! Vermont Green! Vermont Green!
Hey, I'm Christian. I was born in Northern Virginia. I live in Vermont. Where were you conceived, Chris? In DC. Oh man, we got Vermont Green FC out here. Pretty incredible, 4-1, second match of the season. We got a huge turnout. We got our Montrealers over here, huge fan of them. So I can't beat the atmosphere, beautiful Burlington day. What are your thoughts on Vermont football culture? You know what? We're developing, so again, thanks to our fans here to get this first home game kicked off, get the crowd moving. Hopefully we can learn a couple things from them and get a huge supporters group going for the club. From a state with about a population of 600,000, it's pretty great that we can get a couple hundred people out here on a Saturday and come watch a great match of soccer.
Beautiful day to play soccer. Great day to be alive. It's a great day to win.
We're all stoked to be here. Great turnout. What's it like working for the team?
Exciting to be part of a team that believes in advancing climate justice, talking about environmental justice, and especially using soccer as a catalyst for them.
Where y'all from?
Vermont. Vermont.
We live in Vermont. Where were y'all conceived? I don't want that on the documentary. I was conceived in Vermont. That's what I'm doing here today. Thank you. We should be interviewing you. Go Green, baby! Conceived?
San Antonio, I think. I am a huge fan of Vermont Green FC. We're killing it. Like, it's great. I also think that the energy in the stands has been really exciting to see.
Any last things you want to say about Vermont, the team, or the state? Most people say go green.
Go green.
Vermont Green FC!
FC. Vermont Green FC.
The game was a blowout, with VGFC thrashing Blackrock 4-1. For a football match held on Memorial Day weekend, on the same day as the Champions League final, the attendance was impressive. At the end of the match, there were positive vibes flowing throughout the stadium. Fans were beaming with joy due to the win, and Vermont was lit up greener than Snoop Dogg's garb. Shout out to those players who stayed after the game for interviews.
My name is Owen O'Malley. I play at Creighton University out in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm from Cary, North Carolina, and I'm up here in Vermont for the summer, enjoying these guys playing in front of these fans, and I love it.
What are your thoughts on the game today, man?
It was amazing. The boys came out right off the bat, kind of got into it, first goal, and then we gave up a soft goal, but we reacted quickly, and you know, it ended up being 4-1 in our favor.
What's it like playing in USL League 2?
You know, it's very competitive. You know, you have college kids from all over the country and the nation, you know, it's fun. You get to meet some guys, you know, when you're playing that you know, maybe from college or whatever, but you know, it's a good experience. It's just something to do over the summer to keep you going and get you ready for the fall season.
And any last things you want to say about the team, the fans, anything, bro? Vermont?
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful up here. Never been up here, but Burlington's a great place, great people, great community, as you can see, lots of fans, but they love soccer, and that's what it's all about.
My name is Bilal Kamal.
Hey, what are your thoughts on the game today, man?
The game was really cool. I mean, to play in front of these fans as well is incredible, and to score 4 goals was also like a really good time for us. We enjoyed it out there. Our first ever game, to have this much crowd is amazing, and we want them again to come back next week. Yeah, football culture in Vermont now is booming now. I mean, to have this club here and to what they stand for as well, it's incredible. Nowadays there's a lot of comparisons with the English football. The fan base is growing, so that's very important in football. You need the fans to engage with the club. So right, like today, there's a lot of fans engaging with us. I mean, we want that to happen, and I think that's the next step for US to get to do more.
What's it like having the best hair on the team?
I mean, yeah, no, it's great. It's great. You know, I enjoy it. Get good pictures with the hair.
What's your first and last name, bro?
Jack Cordy. I'm a holding midfield for Vermont Green.
What do you think of Vermont FC?
I love it. The guys have clicked really fast, so it's been a really good experience so far. And as the weeks go by, we just keep getting better. Good performance from the boys. Disappointed not to be out there, but a 4-1 result at home is a great start.
You want to ask what happened to you today?
Just sprained my ankle in the warm-up, but hopefully we'll be back in about 2 weeks.
Anything you want to say about Vermont Green or Vermont the state in general?
You know, it's beautiful this time of year. If you can, come out to a game, support the boys.
As my mumsy and I returned home to New York City, we wondered what the atmosphere would look like without the presence of the Montrealers. Would the locals keep attending matches consistently? Would there be a higher turnout the following week since there's no more Champions League? Well, that's for you, the viewer, to decide. If you're watching this, it's safe to assume you're a fan of Vermont Green FC, and it's up to you to be the change you want to see in Vermont's football culture. Since I live 5 hours away, it's unlikely I'll be at another match anytime soon. But for those curious as to what a Vermont Green FC football match is like, hopefully after watching this video, it will inspire you to make the trip to America's greenest state and support Vermont Green FC, the best, worst and only football club in Vermont.
Where were you conceived?
Providence.
Where were you conceived?
Conceived in Boston, Massachusetts.
Where were you conceived?
What do you mean?
Oh man.